So I want to continue with some of the Leelas that were about our recognition of him and starting to respond to him. Because everything he had done then, for the whole period of time that he was submitting, was for all beings, for all time. He said he needed to establish his spiritual presence in this realm. And to establish his spiritual presence in this realm, he had to generate it. He had to transform beings. He had to communicate teachings. He had to be felt and establish sanctuaries and holy places and all of that, so that this will be eternal. And he has done that. So everything, every lesson that I got, every humorous story that I got is available for everyone. And it's felt by turning to him at any time. Not to get something, but to receive. By just opening and allowing whatever is going to be felt to be felt. So one day I was invited early morning we moved from that little place on Melrose Avenue to the Mountain Retention Sanctuary in Northern California. I was invited to Adida's residence. As I started walking there, 3 other devotees also joined me in the forest, walked together to his residence. And we entered, invited in, entered, and we were told that he is in the sun room, which is one of the side rooms, and getting some sun in that room. So we walked into that room, and he was laying on a lounge, reading a newspaper. We bowed and offered a flower at his feet. And then someone said, there's a table right next to him, a little 3 feet away, 5 feet away, and there's 4 chairs on it. Please sit at these chairs. Adida was reading his newspaper. He turned over. He turned his head and smiled and turned back to his newspaper. And we simply sat at the chairs, at the table. They served us tea and a biscuit, each of us. Nothing was said. Being in his company while he's just reading a newspaper affected us so much that the first thing we had was there was no need to talk about anything. We didn't need to socialize. We didn't need to talk about anything. We just looked at each other and looked back at him. And that's all we wanted to do, is just look at him. And we sat there, had a biscuit, a tea. And the next thing that I noticed, was that the mind relaxed. The mind stopped. When the truth is known, the heart knows it, and the mind quiets. Beloved has said the mind is always going, working, to find answers, to find resolve, to find truth, to be free. And that's why it's busy all the time. When it comes in the company of that freedom, it stops. Those that meditate, feeling beloved, the mind stops. It's not because you're focusing on something, it's because you're in the company of freedom. And the mind stops. So we're sitting there. I just read the newspaper. Somebody gave him a cold drink at some point. And he didn't look up at us or anything. We were there for an hour. And then we were invited to leave. We left. But we were invited back every single day for a week. An exact same thing happened. Nothing. Except for silent transformation of the separative point of view.